subtle grooves of your brains, its ability and expertise to catch the experience of consciousness. Experience of that. That makes you spiritual. All spiritual practices are just to develop that subtle brain grooves in you to catch the pure consciousness. Whether you sit in the banks of Ganga in silence in Haridwar, or you sit in the silence of Manikarnika, Mahasmashana in Varanasi, or you sit in the silence of Gomukh, Tapovan, understand, when your brain grooves, the subtle brain grooves, are able to catch the concept of consciousness, the spirituality is awakened in you.
When you're speaking about Bhagavad Gita, he had quoted a story from Mundaka Upanishad where there was a bird sitting on a tree, and at the top of the tree there was a golden color bird. So this bird which was sitting on the lower branches, seeing the bird at the top, it thought how peacefully it's living without any pain or pressure, everything. It's living so happily and blissfully. So this bird who's on the lower level branches, it will start trying to climb up to the higher level branches. In between, on the way, it will start feeling hungry. So it will take a fruit which is there and it will start eating. If the fruit is sweet, then the bird will just stay there and will be eating the sweet. But if the fruit is bitter, then it will think, oh, what kind of a life am I living? Then it will look up and see the golden color bird sitting on the tree without any pain or pressure or anything. So whenever it eats the bitter fruit, it reminds himself that I have to go and become like that golden color bird. So what I understood from this is, only when you have incompletions, we will remember that we have to achieve something higher. When we suffer, it just reminds us that we have to achieve something higher. But as long as we find something which we like, which brings pleasure to us, then we'll be stuck up and caught up in that, and for eternity we'll be there with that. Only if there's some incompletion, then it will even hit us that there's something more to achieve in life.
When Krishna showed the whole universe in his mouth, that time he did show the consciousness to her. But what she understood as consciousness, Krishna showed it to her. But the same way in Arjuna's example, he showed his whole Vishwarupa itself as consciousness to Arjuna. So what I feel is that from this we can understand that everything is still consciousness only. Based on whichever perception, whatever cognition you have, based on that you experience the consciousness for you.
See, the earth is always like moving, and we are also in the earth, so actually we are part of the earth. But because we also are moving, we think that only we are moving, but earth is not moving. But for the fact we are moving with the earth. But because we are moving, we think that we are independent and we are still moving. But actually, if you see from a higher plane, we are only moving along with the earth, but we are moving with the earth. We are not moving somewhere separately, even though we are moving.
Swami told incompletion can be factual, but it's not real. So actually incompletion doesn't exist. We think that we are incomplete and there is something called incompletion. But if you see in the reality, there is no incompletion, only consciousness exists.
From a high level of reality, you can see that the whole ocean is there and everyone is just a droplet in the ocean. Everyone is just the whole consciousness. But when you come down to the level of perception, each droplet will be going around and seeing each person doing something else or having some of the other incompletion. So they'll be thinking he's different, I'm different, maybe he's complete, maybe I'm not complete, or something like that. But all this is just the idea which each droplet has about themselves. If they drop this idea, in the reality they'll understand that everything is consciousness, everything is same.
I would like to share Swamiji's experience where when he experienced the Satori, when at the age of 12, when he experienced that enlightenment sitting on the hills of Arunachala, and when he had that glimpse, he literally felt everything around him was him. So not just living beings, even the stone what we call as, non-living beings, the stone, tree, everything around him, the animals, bird, everything was him. So from that experience of the master, from his experience, I now understand that the true consciousness that is all pervasive. Because when he experienced that everything around him is him, the sky above, the earth below, everything around him he experienced as him, which is the true consciousness that we have. From that I understand that consciousness is all pervasive.
The Shivam process in the NDY, Swamiji gave us the experience of having the Kundalini awakening, and it was so profound. It is very difficult to experience in words actually how we felt. The entire Shivam process, what actually happened was that we were present in the Swamiji's breathing space, and automatically whatever need to happen happened, and whatever incompletions we had and whatever we needed to do, actually it happened by itself. Basically it was in autopilot, I would say, that whatever incompletions we thought that we had during the Shivoham experience, it all got completed. During the Shivoham process, when we do the completion process, it is very, very fast, and within a short period of time we were able to achieve a state of complete completion.
At least before death, you should catch the glimpse of what is consciousness. Please understand, the most subtlest concept or experience of consciousness you got when you are alive, that will only automatically open up when you leave the body. That's the greatest gift you can receive from a master. That is why I am insisting on all our devotees. If you have elderly parents above 60, the modern day above 60 means in waiting list for packing up. If you have elderly parents above 60, don't miss the chance of Paramashivoham. Make sure they are there sitting in Shivoham in Varanasi, because the strongest glimpse of consciousness which their brain can withstand, their body can stand, they will have it in Shivoham process. That will be the greatest gift you can give it to your parents from the master. This is your responsibility. See to it they are sitting in Varanasi Shivoham. They catch the glimpse of what their brain can grasp.